My name is Andy Clarke and I play guitar and vocals for the Crawling, doom death metal band from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Um, into heavy metal, I think it would have to come down to my mate's big brother. That sort of syndrome. We were in primary school. It was a fairly small primary school. There was literally only 40 people in it, and everyone knew each other and everyone hung around together. So the guys I hung around with as a very young lad, their big brothers were into heavy metal. We used to go to the mate's house after school, and they would all be wearing their cut off denim jackets with back patches and all that sort of stuff, and listen to heavy metal, and that was basically my exposure to it. And we just used to always go to the one guy's house because I was always in the background, and that just got me hooked on it completely. It wasn't completely out of the blue, because my father's into sort of more of the heavy rock stuff, and again it's all very relative of course, but it was always music in my house, even whenever I still lived at home. My dad continues, still listens to music, so nothing overly heavy, but big into Dire Straits, Pink Floyd, sort of classic rock, Free, stuff like that. So I was always very, very exposed to the heavier side of music rather than the pop music sort of thing. So yeah, I think it was just the way I was brought up, just massive exposure to it, and really, really enjoyed it. I think when I was very young, it was the mystery that surrounded heavy metal that got me into it. I particularly remember it was the back patches I remember a lot as a kid growing up. AC/DC, If You Want Blood. I'm not a massive DC fan, but I do remember the back patch extremely well. This guy had done a hand painted back patch, and yeah, it was just the whole mystery of heavy metal thing. It just really attracted me to it, and yeah, just got me into it. I'm not totally sure. It's one of those weird things. You just hear it and you just know from the start that you're particularly into it. It was whenever I was growing up, heavy metal music genuinely was forbidden. You just weren't allowed to listen to it. Both my parents are very religious and always have been, still are, and continually took things off me as a child. Iron Maiden, Live After Death, confiscated. Patches, badges, all taken off me. So because it was, my mates were all into it and I wanted to be into it, and then the fact that it was taken off me so much and forbidden to get into, it just increased the appeal to it even further. And yeah, it was just something very, very different and just totally intriguing, and that's what just drew me to it as a youngster, and then obviously as I grew up I continually found further paths into the extremity of heavy metal, which is what I love about it so much. And yeah, even to this day I'm continually finding things that are potentially more extreme about the music scene. It was the same group of guys. The group of guys that we hung around with, I'm going right back to being 9, 10, 11 years old, just literally hitting high school. The same guys that showed me the records and listened to all the tracks and drank beer with and all that sort of stuff. One of the guys particularly played guitar, and we just literally had one guitar and a small practice amp in the room, and we used to make him continually play early Slayer tracks and Metallica, and it was just amazing to watch him, because like I say, it was a kid, so hearing someone recreate bands I listened to in a room, it was just absolutely mind blowing. And it didn't take too long, 2 or 3 times exposed to this, and it was like, I want to be able to do that. So it was just like, I have to get a guitar. So the usual of going to the parents and getting a guitar. Once I got the guitar, again it was all centered around the same group of guys whenever I was 11 or 12 years old. And got a guitar. Another guy, he already played guitar, and then another fellow I convinced to play drums, and somebody else eventually got numbered with bass, because nobody actually wants to play bass. And that's really how my first band started. It was just those guys, and we continued playing in a small room together for years. Didn't even do any gigs, never really set foot out the door. But that's how it started, and it just escalated from there. The writing music is a very, very long drawn out process for me, in that as a guitarist I tend to be the main songwriter. I think playing a guitar just lends itself to writing the music. I'm also the vocalist, so I like to write my own lyrics. I've never been good at singing other people's lyrics, so I like to write that myself. Um, the inspiration for me, it's always about personal things. I'm not into the writing fictional stuff or anything like that, or any particular topics. It's just literally what I see happen to people around me. All my music is very human based. It's either happened to me or, like I say, somebody else around me. So it starts with that, the sort of topic, and then I start playing guitar, a few riffs, sometimes lyrics first, and then I adapt them later on. That's really how I start writing, and it just starts from there. And again, it's all done by myself, so I have to start from a computer point of view of getting the riffs nailed down, put some backing drums to it so I can get an idea for the feel of the song. The lyrics that I have, I might cut and move those around to suit the tracks, and then record it. I'm lucky because I have a lot of recording stuff in the house, so I can demo a whole track and listen back to it as an actual song, and see what works and what doesn't, and chop it up and fix it and move it about. And then it goes to the practice room, and the whole band gets involved, and I can change again from there. And sometimes it gets thrown in the bin, other times it gets adapted, other times it just stays exactly as it is. It just depends. Must be force of habit now. I've been at it for over 25 years. It's just ultimately there's always a reward. Being in a band is expensive. It does take time. The effort is just, it's insane. I don't like to think about the amount of hours I spend a week working on the band and trying to put it out there. It's too frightening to even try and work out for the return. But there are always times when it's being returned. For me personally, it's playing live. I really, really enjoy playing live. The writing thing I find a wee bit stressful. The recording, I enjoy parts of it because I get to record it. I like hearing the finished product, and I like letting other people hear it and seeing their reactions to it. But ultimately it's playing live for me, and unless there is literally nobody in the room, I always enjoy playing live. I like that connection with people, especially when you're, for our type of music, which would be more sort of atmosphere and mood based, being able to present that the way I initially heard it, which is me playing guitar in a room. That's every time, all the time, playing live, and that's why I do it. And it must be, I know I still enjoy it because, like I say, 25 years later, I just wouldn't be doing it otherwise. Like. Nothing wasn't my doing. I was, pardon me, I've been in bands for a long, long time, and the main band I was in for over 15 years came to a halt, and I stopped playing basically for 3 years and found other interests and did other things, and it was all going fabulous. And then Stuart, our bass player, he messaged me. I was friends with him on Facebook, and I've known him since I was 15 years old, but no, not a lot of contact with him. And he just messaged me one day and was like, "Do you want to start a death metal band?" Like, he's got kids, a family, all that stuff, job, career. And he was like, "There's no big hassles. We're just gonna get in a room, load of old boys, and we're gonna jam out some death metal. Do you want to be involved?" And I remember saying to my wife at the time, it was like, "I've been asked to join a band. You know, it's been 3 years, and what do you think?" And it was just like, "Yeah, but you know how this will go." I was like, no, it's just, I'm just going to turn up, I'm just going to play guitar, it's no fucking hassles. And I was like, yeah, okay, away you go. So that's really how it started. So I went in, Stuart had arranged a practice night, and I showed up with my guitar and all the rest of it, and had a jam out a couple of Entomb tracks and Bolt Thrower, and that was really how it started, just 5 guys in a room. So that was okay, that was under a different moniker. So we jammed out for 2 or 3 weeks, and I really started to enjoy it, and I thought, yeah, do you know what, I could do this again. So I thought, fuck it. But if I'm gonna do it, we need to change certain aspects of it, which meant a few people in the band that weren't really working out. So we just made a few changes and got a few different people in, and then it felt like with a solid lineup we could actually progress with. And then it became the Crawling. And that's when everything changed dramatically, and it's put us on the path that we're on now. I pretty much enjoy playing any venue, to be honest. Favourite one in Belfast, probably the Voodoo. I like the fact that it's a small venue, so for a band of our level, it suits us perfectly. There's nothing worse than playing a huge fucking room with only 10% capacity. It looks bad, it feels bad, I don't enjoy it. It really doesn't always work very well. So the Voodoo to me is a perfect size for a band of our level. The stage isn't too big, it's just a nice tight room, and it really you really end up face to face with people. I really like that when I'm playing live. I find it peculiar playing big stages when I'm 20 feet away from the first person in the crowd. That is very strange. Sort of getting used to it, and it's enjoyable in its own way, but I do like down on the floor in front of people, which is why the Voodoo is very good. I think the Limelight would be a close second, purely because the sound is just fantastic. It's definitely the best delivery of the music, so I really like the way it sounds. In terms of places I don't like playing in Belfast, I really just, there's nowhere that I've played that I didn't really like. Certainly places that aren't still active anyway. I'm trying to think, I've played a lot of places that don't exist anymore. The Rotterdam used to do shows, and it was a very small place, but it was really small. It would have been 50-60 people. It would have been out the doors, and again it was on the floor, and the atmosphere was electric in it. Oh, fucking every band I saw there, and every time I played, it was beyond enjoyable. Like it was chaos. I'd be interested. Probably rose tinted glasses. I've no idea what it would be like now to do with the crawling, but certainly as a younger fella, I really enjoyed that. Rosetta Bar would be another obvious one. Big stage. The sound could be good, depending on who the band was. It was particularly enjoyable to play as well, and it always had a very good crowd of people, very supportive. And there was always the same sort of people went to Rosetta Bar, and this is a long time ago now. All the bands sort of hung around each other and came out to see each other. So really, I enjoyed the Rosetta Bar. It's a shame it's gone. I think for me it does come down just to playing live. You know, it's I enjoy live music. I enjoy going to concerts and going to see bands, and to be able to do it, it's just fantastic. It's a great atmosphere. It's the reason. It's where music started. You know, it didn't start on tape. It didn't start on CD. It wasn't listened to on earphones. It started in a room with somebody with an instrument, and that is without a doubt where music belongs and where it's enjoyed at its most for me personally, and that's what I enjoy. Fuck. Trying to get your voice heard will tell everybody else. There are so many bands out there, and some people argue it's oversaturated market. There's always been a fuckload of bands. It's just becoming increasingly more difficult to get your band moved above the crowd of people that are doing bands. There's no formula to getting your band out there or being famous or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I certainly don't know how to do it, obviously. But for me that's the most frustrating thing, especially in the crawling, because with being in a band for so long, I know what works to a degree and what doesn't. And I learned a lot of things, and I've applied it to the crawling from day one, and certain things are working very well, but inside a 3-year period I am hitting that sort of glass ceiling where I just can't get the band above a certain level to get us just to move us forward. And I think a lot of bands are starting to move it, and we're all sort of hitting that place at the same time. I've had the same conversation with bands in the UK even, Basement Torture Killings, bands like that, and they're just sort of saying the same things I am. You know, you have a good solid lineup, good output, you have an album out, everything's in place, but you just can't quite push outside your sort of scene where you've become accustomed to, and that frustrates the fucking life out of me. Just because I don't know how, it irritates me. No, I think it's great. I didn't realise there was a debate to that extent. I've never. I know people that don't go in for it. You know, they don't like the competition aspect of it, or they can't facilitate the amount of shows that are required. I think it's great. It's not an easy way, but it's an option that to play a massive UK festival that without that option, there's certain bands that would just never ever be on Bloodstock's radar. It wouldn't happen without it. What's not to like about that? It's a great opportunity. I don't know why bands wouldn't want to be part of it, aside from the time aspect. Certainly whenever we did it, the biggest problem I had was there were so many shows over a very relatively short period of time. You saturate your home market. It's time off work. It completely stopped our album process, which was really, really irritating because we lost 3 months of what should have been recording time and rehearsing and playing gigs, and we've only so much time during the week as a band with families and jobs and stuff, so that can be difficult. So I understand bands not being into it maybe from that point of view, but if you put the work in, it can pay off. And as I say, I know now, even having done 3 major festivals, it doesn't mean anything to be getting on to more festivals. So, and this is a way where you will end up on this festival if you are successful and you're picked at the end. Fill your boots, like, I really have to get in there. It was awesome. Bloodstock was really, really good. Personally, from my point of view, I took on a wee bit too much on the day, which took away from some of the enjoyment of it. It really only Bloodstock, the whole Metal of the Masses thing, once you've been selected to play, then it really starts. The amount of work involved to try and maintain your band's presence at Bloodstock, meet people, interview, chatting to other bands, meeting people that can help you in the future. And I spent a wee bit too long doing that when I should have literally been backstage getting myself ready to play. So I was a wee bit stressed playing the actual show, which in hindsight still really fucking annoys me. But once I get into it, 2 or 3 songs, settled down, really enjoyed the gig, sold some t-shirts, met a lot of great people who have all been extremely helpful post Bloodstock, which again is just part of the whole Metal to the Masses thing. Like, it's not just playing Bloodstock, it's literally the beginning of something if you put the work into it and get to know people as a result of it. So no, it was good. I did enjoy it, and I would like to do it again. I think there's a lot of bands that, it's what makes a good band, or what makes them be able to move past certain levels. Musicianship, fuck me, everybody can play guitar now. There's guitars out there that are just fucking mind blowing on a local level, and it's the same with drummers and bands as a whole. Songs are good, the recording's good. Everyone is at that sort of level where they can do things. It's more, what else do they have outside of that can let them put themselves in a position where they perhaps can, and it's that whole structure of the organisation. For me, an immediate band that would jump to mind is Stranglewire, only formed this year and come out of fucking nowhere with a professionally shot video, a 7-inch vinyl recorded in a studio that real bands record in. That sounds fucking amazing, and just came straight out of the gate with just relentless. And then again, 12 weeks later, another video, and I know they've been doing other things since. Everything's all lined up, and it's that sort of band that comes out with a plan and a strategy to continually get their band out there, and with quality output. Them and us. I'm not sure. It's a bit like, as you're saying, if you're comparing it to the bands, how important are bands that are hobbyists? If I'm a hobbyist, I take my band extremely seriously and dedicate 30 hours a week to it outside of my work. It's a fucking intensive hobby. So, and I'd like to think it's reflected in my output with the band. So if you have journalists who approach it the same way, and that they dedicate time to it, they're writing a lot, They're going to a lot of shows, they're doing a lot of reviews, and they're crafting their trade and they're learning it. It becomes a symbiotic relationship, and I think that's very important in a local scene. But it's more about the quality. If you're sort of thinking there are people there that just go out and review gigs when they're out on the piss, well then that's fucking pointless, because it brings nothing to it. You know, this band was fucking awesome, and that's a review. It doesn't mean anything. But I think a lot of the guys do tend to approach it like this is their real job. You know, I have to go to this other thing to pay for my ability to go and review shows and get photographs taken and put it together and form something on the internet or on a magazine. So it is important, because without it then no one hears about the bands that are making the efforts, and the band that makes the effort with a journalist that makes an effort can present everybody in a good light, and it can only benefit, you know. So yeah, I think it's absolutely very important, as long as the quality's there. And I think that's the emphasis. The emphasis is on quality. Quality bands, quality reviewers can lead to a fantastic thing. Too many shit bands, too many shit reviewers, it's a waste of fucking time. But the good thing is, shit bands, shit reviewers tend to get bored very quickly. True hobbyists, and if I'm catching the term right, are people that are genuinely obsessed with it and have been doing it for a long, long time. The quality will rise to the surface anyway, and the shite, people will give up. They always do.